Never you be ashamed of your job. Never you feel bad about your job, because the truth is, nobody will feed you if you get hungry. If you are like some of us who were not lucky to be given birth to in this country with a lot of financial advantages, or we're not even given birth to in a wealthy family, we have to start everything from scratch. The salary of our bosses cannot be a drug that will help us forget our dreams. It means we never even had a dream in the first place. Hey friends, welcome to another video. Actually, Brandon here. In this video, we'll be talking about some of the reasons why we read a lot of wealth building books, but we cannot use the techniques from this book to build a stable income for ourselves, even though we hear a lot of testimony from people who have read these books and are telling us how they have used the technique to build a stable income for themselves. We'll also be talking about some of the most important aspects of business these wealth building books will never talk about. So hang on right up to the end of the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be a hero by sharing the video to help someone learn something new today. If you are someone like me who wants to become the richest person in the world one day, then I bet you have read a lot of wealth building books already, because in the past 5 years, I've been reading a lot of wealth building books. I have read popular books like The Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Smart Investor, and many more. And I'm really happy I read this book, because it has really shaped my mentality so well as far as finances are concerned. But physically, my financial condition has not really changed. Not because what is said in this book is false, but because this book teaches us how to invest, but a lot of them don't teach us how to raise capital for investment, which is one of the most important aspects of a business, capital. Which is why I highly recommend you watch the video up here or in the description, where I mention 3 books you must read if you want to start your wealth building journey. Let's take for instance the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. This book is talking about 2 parents giving advice to a child. One of them is a rich dad, the other one is a poor dad. The poor dad will give advice to a child like, if you want to become successful in life, you have to go to school, you have to study a skill, you have to graduate with good grades, get a job, get a house, get married, and start making your family. But according to this book, this route might never make you wealthy in life. On the other hand, the rich dad will give advice to the child like, instead of spending some years in school trying to learn a trade, take some time to study money and know how it works. Look for business opportunities and invest in that business so that your money can start working for you, which is a brilliant idea, and I will advise everyone to think like this if you want to make wealth in your life. But one thing I want you to understand is this. Most of these books are written based on the economy of the Western world countries. For instance, countries like the United States of America. A lot of these authors have no idea about how the economy of countries in Africa, in Asia, the Southern America, or the countries that have labeled like the third world countries of the world. They don't know how the economies of these countries are functioning. And a lot of time, when we come from these third world countries, we read this book, we get obsessed by the advice from the rich dad, but we fail to understand that a person who was born and raised in the United States has a lot of financial advantages more than us who were born and raised in the third world countries. Take for instance, in the United States, you can start a business even if you don't have a capital, because the system has been structured in a way that once you have a brilliant business idea, you take that idea to the bank, they'll analyze the business, and they will give you a loan to start your business. And once your business has been booming, you start paying your loan gradually. On the other hand, you also have investors who are ready to invest in any business. So you can take this business to the investors and they'll analyze the business, and if they see that they'll have a great rate of return, they'll invest in the business. So the question now is, what if you are not lucky to be given birth in a country like the United States, or you are not lucky to be given birth in a wealthy country, but rather you are like some of us who have to start everything from scratch? In this case, I want you to know that the advice from the poor dad is what you need. The fact is this: if you take the advice of the rich dad, it's going to make you a brilliant business person. It's going to help you build wealth and build a sustainable income for the rest of your life. But the idea from the poor dad will make you a capital, which is one of the most important part of every business. Because in most of these third world countries, nobody cares about how good your business is. Nobody cares about how brilliant your business idea is. No bank will loan you the money, even though the business is a perfect one, but you have to work for this money yourself. When you read any book that talks about wealth, before you become obsessed with whatever the book is saying, you need to ask yourself this question: what does this author knows about the economic situation of my country? It is very common nowadays to see people posting stuff like this online, and they'll tell you things like, the more you work for your boss, it only gets your boss richer and it gets you poorer, because if you quit your job and use that time you are putting on your job to invest on your own business, it's going to make your life better. They'll tell you things like, your salary is a drug your boss gives you to forget your dreams. I'm not saying these things are not true, but I want you to ask yourself this question before you start feeling bad before you start thinking you are not doing anything good with your life. Ask yourself this question. If you are not born in a country with financial advantages, if you are not able to get a loan to start up your business, you don't even have people who can invest in your business, how on earth will you be able to raise a capital for your business if you don't get a job for yourself? Please, I want you to avoid this kind of people who say all these things about you and make you feel like your life has no use just because you have a job. Especially when these people cannot even provide you with the capital you need to start up your business. Because honestly, I see nothing wrong with anyone trying to study and get a good job. It becomes a little bit of a problem when you start feeling too comfortable about your job, because the fact is, a job will never make you wealthy. But at the same time, you need to know that for some people, a good job is what they need to become wealthy in life, because a good job comes with a good salary, which will leave you with enough to take care of yourself at the moment and still save for future investments. Also, I want us to understand something. The fact that we have a good job with a high monthly salary does not mean that we are rich. We can always say we are rich when we are able to stop working, yet we still have this source of income that is able to take care of us for a long period of time. That is why we should not always use our salaries to buy luxury for ourselves, like our dream cars, our dream home, but rather, we should always try to use our salaries like investment. Then, when these investments start giving us profits, we can now use the profit to buy our luxuries. If you are watching this up to this point, I want you to do me a favor. Never you be ashamed of your job. Never you feel bad about your job, because the truth is, nobody will feed you if you get hungry. If you are like some of us who were not lucky to be given birth to in this country with a lot of financial advantages, or were not even given birth to in a wealthy family, we have to start everything from scratch. The salary of our bosses cannot be a drug that will help us forget our dreams. It means we never even had a dream in the first place, because if we really have a dream and a goal we want to achieve, the salary will not be a drug that will help us forget those dreams, but it's going to be a booster to our dream, because each time we get paid, we already have a plan what we need to use that money for, and with every salary we have, it takes us a step closer to our dreams. So I want you to remember this. We are all in the journey of building wealth together, and the fact that we might be having a job at this moment does not mean that that's our final destination in the journey. It might only be a vehicle we are using to get to our destination faster. So again, I highly recommend you watch the video up here or in the description below, where I talked about 3 most important books which you must read if you want to start your wealth building journey. Thank you so much for watching this video right up to this point. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be a hero by sharing the video to help someone learn something new today. God bless you. Peace.